You know what it's time to start preparing for? NaNoWriMo, bitches! That's right, I am here to announce that not only am I doing NaNoWriMo this year, but I am gonna start preparing now, and I'm gonna tell you what the novel's about. What's up, my fellow small business supporters? I'm Savvy. I would say that I'm your gay aunt from the 80s because I'm kind of dressed like her today, but canonically I've decided that in my own Savvy universe, I am only your gay aunt from the 80s when I'm wearing lipstick or at the very least thick eyeliner. So today I'm just Savvy from 1992. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Central, I have new videos coming out about books and writing. Ring that bell because you want to get notified and you don't want to miss these videos because I'm very confident in the content that I put out into the world. How can you not be in this day and age? Especially if you're gonna write novels that you want other people to pay money for. So I'm really excited to start NaNoWriMo this year. I know that it's obviously not November yet, but I want to start my preparation way in advance. So I'm planning to do some preparation vlogs for that. I'm planning to do some videos with my outlining process and my series Bible creation process. Series Bible, what? Savvy, you've never made a series Bible before. Well, it's because you've never written a series before. That's a fucking lie. You make most of your money on a series you wrote called The Forever Home Friends, which is a series of books all based on real rescue dogs. Yeah, but I don't have a series Bible for that because they're picture books and they're about dogs and the dogs are all real, so I don't have to world build at all because they're all dogs that exist in the real world, except that in this real world, they can talk, but only to each other and not to humans. It's pretty normal. What I mean is, Savvy, you've never written a series before in terms of novels. Well, that's correct. I've only written standalone novels until now. For NaNoWriMo this year, I am going to be writing the sequel to Sculpt Yourself. That is correct. So at first, when I first wrote Sculpt Yourself, I fully intended for it to be a standalone. I didn't think it needed a sequel because I was like, the story's pretty much wrapped up. There's nowhere else we need to go with this. All the character arcs are good. And then I was like, but because something's a sequel or part of a series, doesn't mean it needs to just be directly what happens after. I don't have to follow Amber, Judy, and Kelly through their next thing. What about all the other characters that they know?
What about Isabel, the cute intern who is struggling with the fact that she looks much younger than she is and is struggling to be taken seriously in the workplace as a woman? What about Samantha, the quiet genius who sits there doing tech support work but actually has a million ideas of her own back in her side of her head that once she starts talking everyone listens because man, she's got some smart shit to say? And what about Catherine, Samantha's younger cousin, who is a transgender woman just about to enter college, coming off of using lipomorph as a high schooler to create a body that is, for lack of a better term, more traditionally feminine looking?
What about all of them? Don't they have interesting stories to tell? And what if, in this universe, lipomorph wasn't the only thing that got developed? Obviously.
Because scientific developments are happening all the time. And if I've already set up a world that's based on a real world but has like one weird drug that's different, I can just make another weird invention that also throws a huge wrench into the world. And then I was like,
what if it's a trilogy? What if there are multiple weird inventions and each book focuses on one and now I need to plot out an entire trilogy? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So this year for NaNoWriMo, I'm going to be writing a novel called Indecent Exposure, which is going to be the sequel to Sculpt Yourself, except Amber, Kelly, and Judy, the main characters of Sculpt Yourself, are going to be background characters or side characters in this novel, while the three main characters are going to be Samantha, Catherine, and Isabel. I don't have a full summary written of it yet, but whereas Sculpt Yourself was like, this is what lipomorph is. Here are each of the three characters' perspectives. This novel deals with body image, LGBT plus topics, and what it means to be a feminist in the 21st century. This novel instead is like, 2 years ago, lipomorph, the drug that lets you sculpt yourself, was fully legalized. After the cutthroat debates that broke out over the drug and the interest of gaining more objective, less biased news and media content, a new app has taken off. Roblog! And then it's going to talk about what Roblog is, which is Samantha's invention. Samantha's becoming one of those startup girls. She's going to be like Mark Zuckerberg, but like a badass woman, right? And then it's like, told from these three women's points of view, Indecent Exposures tackles LGBTQIA plus topics, the effect of social media on news and discourse, and what it means to be an artist in the age of the unpaid internship. So get excited. I'm going to be working on a lot of things for this. I will have a much more succinct summary that'll explain what this novel's fully about. But basically it's going to deal with the idea of how the rapid spread of news in today's world is causing artists to get paid less and less for their work, and how artists and writers and photographers and all of us are expected to work for exposure, and how that doesn't do anything, and how we might have a conflict within the fight to get faster and more objective news out there. We're going to be undercutting the artists who are part of that. Is that a fair trade? Well, if you've read Sculpt Yourself, then you know that there is no yes or no or black or white answer to anything in this world, which is kind of where we're going to be going with that. So that is a brief breakdown of what Indecent Exposure is going to be about. I am going to be making so many vlogs about my process of, outlining this book and figuring out, here's what happens in Sculpt Yourself, here's what happens in Indecent Exposure, and then I have, thoughts on the third book in the trilogy and how it's going to wrap up, but I'm not positive yet. So I'm going to be trying to plot that out so that I can accurately set things up in this book. Stay tuned for everything on that. Also, because this book features one main character who is transgender and one main character who is asexual, I was wondering if there's anyone out there who would be interested in doing sensitivity reading, just because I want to make sure that my portrayals are accurate. If anyone out there is interested in doing sensitivity reading or beta reading or anything like that, let me know in the comments below. I'll also probably put out more of a greater call for this in the future. So just let me know your thoughts on all of that as well. Anyway, so that's what's going to be happening for NaNoWriMo, and I am super, super, super pumped for it. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys again soon, but in the meantime, don't forget to support small businesses. Happy writing!